Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys, Wednesday, January 28th. Ian Cameron with you. Perlo will be joining me in just a bit as well, ready to break down the Wednesday card. 3 games on tap for this Wednesday. Excited to break those all down and excited about what we've got coming up today. Not only with this show, but we're going to start the show with some breaking news. Some people may already know, but now we'll make it official.
This is breaking news from the Ice Guys.
The Patreon members know this, but now everybody that isn't a Patreon member will know this too. Tonight is the night for our second Patreon-exclusive live betcast of the week. We've got another Patreon-exclusive live betcast tonight, Wednesday, January 28th, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It is once again going to be another one of these short betcasts with only 3 games on tap, 7 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time starts. So basically we'll be on for the entire card. It's just that the entire card is only early in the night. So we are excited about being on with you tonight for these 3 games, Philly, Columbus, Colorado, Ottawa, and the Battle of New York, Rangers and Islanders. So tonight, Patreon exclusive live betcast, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And we decided, Alex and I, to pick one of these nights for, because the Patreon betcasts, we don't go all night. We go about 3 hours, shorter betcast, and we decided, hey, all these games are early tonight. Let's do it on this Wednesday night. Let's have the betcast here. We'll go through the whole card. All the games are early anyway. So looking forward to it, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tonight, Wednesday, January 28th. And a reminder, you must be a Patreon member to join us on the stream and to tune in to the live betcast tonight. So make sure you join us, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, for our Patreon exclusive live betcast. Looking forward to it very much. We also announced yesterday on the show that our next public betcast, free for all, it's open to everybody. It will be, and it's our only betcast in the month of February. And this one will be free for all, open to everybody, to the public, next Tuesday, February the 3rd, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It will indeed be the one and only betcast in the month of February because of the fact we've got the 3-week Olympic break in the month of February. So again, Tuesday, February 3rd, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, next Tuesday, and that will be our last pre-Olympic break live betcast overall. So that one free for all. But again, tonight, Patreon exclusive here on this Wednesday night. So again, we're very much looking forward to it. Looking forward to the betcast tonight, Patreon exclusive, 7 p.m. And again, next Tuesday, we will have the last betcast, which will be free, open to everybody, free for all, next Tuesday, February the 3rd. All right, let's look back on last night, a very busy Tuesday night in the NHL. We'll start with the Winnipeg Jets. Once again, these spots have been nice to us this week. That's back-to-back spots where we've cashed tickets with teams where their coach read them the riot act following the previous loss. The New York Islanders, we saw them respond the right way against the Philadelphia Flyers. They shut out the Philadelphia Flyers 4-0 after getting shut out themselves by the Buffalo Sabres. Patrick Waugh calling out his best players after the loss against Buffalo. They responded the right way, and Winnipeg responded the right way after Scott Arniel called them embarrassing pond hockey, disgrace of a performance against Detroit on Saturday, and the Jets responded. They got the first goal, which we cashed. First goal, first period money line, full game money line. So nice to hit all of those last night with Winnipeg as they take care of business against the New Jersey Devils, 4-3 last night in that one. The Utah Mammoth, what a win for Utah, bouncing back on a back-to-back, shut out by Tampa, and they beat Florida 4-3. I wasn't as confident they would win that game, but we did say they could jump on Florida early, coming off that great successful road trip, 3-0 sweep through Chicago, Minnesota, and Winnipeg. Florida coming back home, and they were able to Utah was able to pounce on Florida early. We had the first goal, first period for Utah, and the first period money line cashed for me in that game. So a good result and a nice win for Utah. No panic in Florida. Florida's still okay. It's one of these deals for them where, it was a tough spot. If they lose a few in a row, you get concerned. But this is a scheduled loss, in my opinion, for Florida, or at least a scheduled spot where they were going to have some difficulty. So I wouldn't panic about what we saw from the Florida Panthers. Boston, 3-2 win over the Nashville Predators in overtime. This one didn't go as well. We had the overs in this game. Both of them fall short. But Boston gets a 3-2 overtime win. According to our pal Jimmy Murphy, they got into Boston on their flight from New York because they played the Rangers the night before. They got in at like 3:30 in the afternoon, so they had to go right from the airport to TD Garden. No morning skate, no pregame skate. So actually, they did have a pregame skate, but like I said, very, very tough spot for Boston, and to find a way to still win that game, give them a lot of credit. So, like I said, it was definitely a nice win there for the Boston Bruins. They get the job done there by a score of 3-2 in that game last night in overtime over the Nashville Predators. Boston just playing so well at TD Garden. It's pretty amazing to see how strong they took a bus, says Aaron. Good. For the no flight. It was a bus. Okay, there you go. Good clarification there. But still, you got to give them all kinds of credit for a 3-2 win there in overtime for the Bruins. Montreal, let's give them credit. That was a good win. Vegas off getting shellacked by Ottawa. They were down 1-0 after the first period. We did have Vegas first period money line and first goal first period. In fact, I should have parlayed all the first goal first period looks. We would have went 4-0. We would have hit the parlay with Toronto, with Winnipeg, with Vegas, and with Utah. Unfortunately, I didn't, but that's okay. Still worked out well. 3-2 Montreal in overtime. The over does not hit, though, in that game. But great job by Montreal. Cole Caulfield gets another goal, even though he had one disallowed. He got one right after. And Jake Evans with the overtime winner in that game. And Montreal's been looking for one of these goalies to step up. They fired their goalie coach. That's always a scapegoat move, in my opinion. When your goalies are struggling, it's just easy to, fire the goalie coach. But Jakub Dobeš really did step up last night for Montreal. He played well, gave them a chance, made some really good saves, and Montreal was able to come back and beat the Vegas Golden Knights last night in that game by a score of 3-2. So nice win there for Montreal in that game. I think we can just about say season over for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just a demoralizing loss because you could not afford it. You're already 6 points out of the playoffs going into last night, and they had Daryl Sittler there before the game, pregame ceremony for the 50th anniversary of his 10-point game, which you probably you may never see that again. You probably won't see that again. 10 points in one game for Daryl Sittler when he was with the Toronto Maple Leafs back in 1976. It was the 50th anniversary of that. Could you imagine if somehow in 1976 you had access to bet somehow Daryl Sittler over 9.5 points as a player prop that night? What would the price have been for that? Holy goodness! But yeah, that's just something you're not going to see maybe ever again. But Daryl Sittler with 10 points for the Leafs in that game back in 76. They honored him pregame, 50th anniversary of it, and then the Leafs typically, let the legend down on a ceremony night, and they end up obviously losing to Buffalo 7-4. I mean, that's, look, two of the goals for Buffalo were fluky as shit in the first period. The Dahlin first goal was fluky. The Doan power play goal was fluky, although who cares if it's fluky? It cashed a bargain bin special for Matt Robinson, who liked Josh Doan with the one of his two bargain bin specials. So nice to see that come in. I had the goal prop as well. And, they battled back 3-1. UPL gets injured in that game, and Colton Ellis has to take over. So there's an opening for the Leafs. But it's just all you need to know about how the Leafs season has gone as far as rising up in the big moment, getting it done in the clutch, is seeing the Leafs down 3-2 going into the third, their biggest, most important period of the season going into the third. And what happens? They give up a goal 16 seconds into the third period, 4-2, and that pretty much just killed them in that game and ended any real chance to win that hockey game. Just a brutal situation there. And like I said, Buffalo with a 7-4 win. Right now they are a wagon, Matt. They are. I mean, they're playing great. There's nothing fluky about it. I've watched all these games. They are defending very well. Like, they are getting goaltending. I mean, that was a thorough domination. Like, I know the score was 3-2 going into the third, but the shots going into the third period were 28-16 for Buffalo. Like, they were in control of that hockey game. They were. I mean, for Toronto, they got beaten pretty soundly. Final shots in that game were 31-23 in favor of the Sabres. Great win for Buffalo. The roll continues. And now they can actually look up at the standings now and see, hey, we could still catch Detroit. We could still catch Tampa, the top two teams in the Atlantic Division. Rasmus Dahlin with the hat trick, 5-point night as well. And we jumped on the live hat trick, a lot of us, plus 1,000, 10-1. Was the price with that, which was awesome. I mean, if you got to pay attention to this. We're at the point now where the moment you see someone getting to their second goal of the game, you almost have to go right to the live hat trick prop and bet it. You know, that's how much we are seeing it come through lately. All these players getting the hat trick. They get the 2 goals, and more often than not, if they get 2, they're getting 3. You know, it's pretty crazy how often it has happened, not just all season, but especially of late. Like, this has really, really become a noticeable occurrence here in recent days and recent weeks, that when someone scores 2 goals, they get 3. So, again, my advice, because I'm going to keep looking for it. I know Jonathan Davis is going to keep looking for it. A lot of our Ice Guys family is going to keep looking for it. Whenever you see a player get 2 goals in a game, go to that hat trick prop and get to it and bet it. Now, sometimes I'm going to try to get cute and wait for a better price, try to get a little greedy. Maybe once in a while I pay the price for that. But like I said, that is definitely something you want to look at. And again, with Rasmus Dahlin, it happened. And it almost happened with the Seattle game. You know, I jumped on Jared McCann for the hat trick, and he looked like he got the hat trick, but the goal was disallowed, unfortunately, due to a high sticking penalty. But we were that close to another live hat trick prop cashing in that game. We wrapped up the night with L.A. beating Detroit. This was one of the losses. It was a small bet on Detroit, but L.A. 3-1. Give them credit. A nice win for the Kings against a surging Detroit team, and that's now for the L.A. Kings 3 wins in a row. It's been a while since the L.A. Kings have been able to say they've won 3 in a row, but they beat the Red Wings 3-1. Dallas 4-3 over St. Louis. Boy, it looked like a bad third period for Dallas in the offing. 3-0 lead disappears. 3 unanswered goals for the Blues to tie it, but a little bit of a rescue and a seeing eye wrist shot from the point for Thomas Harley with 1:07 left to rescue the Dallas Stars and get them a 4-3 victory last night against the St. Louis Blues. The Moms get let down by the Chicago Blackhawks. I think maybe that's the reason Alex has taken the afternoon off. Just can't get over that loss last night for the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm kidding. He's actually just, he has a light card. He's resting up for the Patreon Betcast tonight. But, yeah, that's a tough loss for the Chicago Blackhawks last night. 3-0 lead going into the 3-1 going into the third, but Minnesota got that late second period goal, and once that happened, you kind of felt the momentum could shift, and then Minnesota gets 2 in the third to tie it. Eriksson Ek and Jared Spurgeon. Aaron was on to this with Jared Spurgeon and all the success he's had against Chicago, and boy, oh boy, I mean, if you took his goal prop, it's plus 850, and that was a bet for Aaron in our chat. Jared Spurgeon, who's had a lot of success for some reason against the Blackhawks, and he ended up scoring the tying goal in that one. Goes to a shootout, or goes to overtime, rather, and then a shootout, and Minnesota ends up victorious in the shootout. It's funny, in our group chat on the Ice Guys, Terry Edelman, of course, as you all know, a very big Minnesota Wild fan, spends the first 2 periods fucking bitching and complaining and belly aching about Jesper Wallstedt and saying, we got to trade him now, trade him right now. Just so upset, so angry with Jesper Wallstedt's start to that game and giving up the 3-0 lead to Chicago early in that game. And then by the time that game ends, it's a very good chance Chicago wins that game, if not for Jesper Wallstedt. I thought he played pretty well. Yeah, you could say he gave up 3 goals, but I thought once it got to 3-0, he really played well. He kept it at 3-0. He gave Minnesota a chance to come back in that game. So, like I said, it was just funny and then all of a sudden I told him at the game in the chat, like, all your belly aching about this guy and how poorly he played tonight, and he ended up like being a big reason why Minnesota had a chance to come back and win that game. So like I said, Wallstedt really dialed it in once it got to 3-0, and give the Minnesota Wild credit for a nice 3-1 4-3 comeback win. And how about the best streak that's going in totals in the NHL? Another over for Minnesota. There's a 15-1 to the over now in the last 16 games for the Wild. 18-4 to the over now. 22 games since Quinn Hughes was acquired. So it's been the gift that keeps on giving. These Minnesota overs, and they just keep on cashing. All right, San Jose, Vancouver, 5-2 Vancouver for San Jose. We had Sharks. We had team total over, a little smaller bet on the full game over, and we didn't hit with Macklin Celebrini with the 2 goals and the hat trick, but we did have over 1.5 points at even money, and we had over 2.5 points at over plus 300 with Macklin Celebrini to get 3 points in that game. I should have actually gone a step further and taken him 4 points because he had a 4-point night for the San Jose Sharks against the hapless Vancouver Canucks last night. A goal and 3 helpers for Macklin Celebrini in that game. And pretty much San Jose in control start to finish. 5-2 win over the Vancouver Canucks last night. And, I just don't know what you say about Vancouver anymore. It's an awful hockey team. I feel for our guy, Rich H. Last game of the night was Washington-Seattle. And look, Washington's got issues, man. This is concerning. They're not playing good. They stink right now. They do. I mean, it's not good. When you lose to Vancouver on that road trip and Seattle, you got some problems. And the way you lose to Seattle as well, 32-20, you got dominated. Seattle was full marks for the win. They were the much better team. Other than an OV power play goal, you didn't do much on offense. Jared McCann almost had a hat trick. Again, it was a bit of a not great night. It was a terrible night defensively, but again, a not great night for Logan Thompson, and you'd be a little bit concerned about that going into the Winter Olympics. But yeah, just not good from the Washington Capitals, and they end up going down big time to the Seattle Kraken. And this ended up being, Washington's not assured of anything. They're on the outside looking in right now, and that road trip's a big reason why. I mean, they lose at Colorado, they lose at Vancouver, they lose at Edmonton 6-5 in a game they could have won, and then they get blasted 5-1 by the Seattle Kraken. The only team they beat on that 5-game road trip was Calgary, 3-1, and that's not saying a whole lot. So, like I said, Washington, there's some issues right now with the Capitals, and you can see the frustration mounting. Tom Wilson was pissed after the game. Spencer Carberry was really, really giving it to his team after that loss last night. So a lot of issues right now for the Washington Capitals. And just as I finish my portion of the recap, perfect timing with Perlo joining us here. Perlo, your thoughts on a very busy Tuesday?
Yeah. It was pretty good for me, for sure. I had the Sabres. I love the Sabres in that spot. Going to Toronto, you're saying that, it's time to give up the ghost. That's good for me. I have plus 350 to miss the playoffs. But, I mean, that team, the reason why I
give Perlo credit, we do. Like, we know we don't always agree with everything Perlo says, but even we were kind of hesitant on the whole Leaf missing the playoffs, and right now you're a big favorite to cash that thing.
Yeah, I have a tendency to go off the board sometimes, but the reason why I did that was I just felt that it was going to be hard psychologically for that team to realize that they're not as good as they were last year when you're supposed to be a cup winning team and all of those sort of things like that. And also I didn't like the moves. Like, I mean, it's not that I didn't like the move. You had to do with what you had to do, but Michelli was never going to be what people thought he was. And I did, was like, okay, they just don't have the team, and they've had the injuries too. Let's go. Like, there's been a lot of injuries on that team too. That certainly helps the deal. But I'm happy for that. I'm happy for the Sabres and Sabres fans that they're playing as well as they are. I got my finger on it because that was another thing I talked about last year, was that because people were getting on Lindsey Ruff, and I'm like, this guy's a great coach. You got to give these guys time because he plays a very complex system, and if they get it, they're gonna do well. And here they are doing well. I think they could get Western Finals. I think they could. The way they're playing right now, I think it's possible.
Eastern Final, Buffalo.
Eastern Final. Eastern Final. The way they're playing right now, I think it's very possible that they could do something here in the East. There's a lot of teams. There's a lot of, you're going to be going up against older teams. Florida could be tired. I mean, there's a lot of teams that they can take out early. And if they play with confidence and the way they're playing this system that Ruff has, it's very possible to me that they could. So I'll see if I can actually get a bet it or not. But you mentioned the Bruins there. What a great, like, Bruins at home, you pretty much got to bet them now. Like, when they're at home, just bet them. If you're going to win in that spot against, not a bad Nashville team, you're probably going to win 65 to 70% of your home games at least. Like, the way they're playing right now, I'm either fading the Bruins or like not betting them all or betting them at home. That was a really, really impressive win. I had Nashville. I had the overs like you did too. And so I wasn't too happy with that, but I mean, killer win. Golden Knights and Canadians. Yeah, I had the over in that game. I had the Knights, and great win for the Canadians. If you would have said that 34 shots would have went on Dobish and the Golden Knights only got 2 before the game, I would have been like, yeah, okay, we'll see about that. But that's what happened. Dobish played very, very well. Golden Knights actually played really well. It was just a good game in general. But Dobish pretty much won that game for them. And the Canadians, if the Canadians keep on getting goaltending like that, I mean, wow, it's going to be it's going to make the Atlantic really interesting. I had the Wings. I don't even mind that bet. It's just I'm going to fade the Kings. They're going to win every once in a while, so whatever about that. Mammoth. I had the Mammoth, and I really liked the Mammoth in that spot. You talked about it. It's just a really bad Panthers spot. And actually, the Panthers played really well in that game, considering the spot they were in. Mammoth got the bounces, really, for the most part. But I'm happy to pull that out. Jets and Devils, I didn't have much on that game, but I did bet the Jets because you seem to be pretty high on them. And you seem to nail those Jet spots really well. So I basically tailed you on that one.
I think it's more I seem to nail those coach gets pissed off and calls his team the fuck out spots because that.
Oh, is that what it is? Like historically, I think you've hit the Jets pretty good.
Yeah.
I just noticed that you do. I don't know why, but that also called the team out or whatever it was. I tailed you on that. Stars versus Blues. I tailed Maddie on that one and got luckier and shit. I shouldn't have got that, but I like to tail player, good cappers that know their teams. And I was back and forth on that game, and when I heard him say in reg, I'm like, all right, I'll pass a little bit on reg. So that one worked out really well. And the Wild and Blackhawks, oh my gosh, man. They cannot beat the Wild. They just can't. Just drop the ball all the time. And I don't even think they played all that bad. Just
like, when are you going to win? When are you actually going to win in Minnesota if you can't somehow bring that game home last night if you're Chicago? What a chance with the moms in the building too.
Yeah.
They never win there again.
Yeah, it's also like we mentioned before, they're a young team, and I still think they need a little more. They need a little more help as far as depth. Maybe grab some vets in the off season to help these guys be able to calm down in the right spots and stuff like that. Some guys that can actually really play. Foligno's great, but I mean, he's getting up there. They got most of their veterans are not able to keep up with the kids so much. So, or not really that type of player anyways. So I think they need a little bit something like that, but I don't think there's much to worry about the Hawks. Really bright future. It's just too bad that they couldn't pull it off for Mom. Would have been great. I liked what you said yesterday. I agree with you. I think that the reason why that was a mom's trip was for that reason, to give that little boost. And now you lose it. Now you risk maybe even making it harder every time you go into Minnesota now. So it was worth the shot. And I loved the Sharks yesterday. That was my favorite. My best bet yesterday was Celebrini over shots. And he got that. No, he got that barely actually, but he got it early, but he didn't get as many shots as a lot of people thought he would. But this Canucks team, man, it's just sad sack. It's hard to watch. You got people calling out Foot, and I'm like, dude, I don't think Foot's a bad.
He's not the second coming of Pat Quinn. Let's be honest.
Maybe,
from a coaching standpoint, but it's not all his fault. He doesn't have a lot to work with.
He doesn't have much to work with, but yeah, I mean, fine win for the Sharks. Not really a good spot, but you just fade the Canucks forever. I hope for Canucks fans that they get a good, really solid draft pick and it works out for them. But that's about this is going to be a while here in Vancouver. I think talking about trading Pettersson and basically one of those slash down rebuilds coming. It's the only way it could be. And I did have the Kraken. I wish I would have had him more. And Rico wasn't on a show the day before this, and I kept on humming about the Kraken. And then he came on last night, and he said, oh, that was a terrible spot for Washington. And he's like killer with spots. Killer. And if he would have been on the day before, I would have had way more on the Kraken. But this Capitals, that was just abhorrent effort by the Capitals. Unbelievable. You had 2 days off before this game. And I know you've been out west and stuff like that, but what were you doing for 2 days? Really? Like, oh my gosh, I could see you losing, but that was just pathetic. A pathetic effort. I had Grubauer over saves too. And I swear to God, the Capitals were purposely trying to not find ways to not shoot on the net last night. It was so aggravating. I was watching it during the show and just going, wow, this is, you got to fade. I know. Okay. So so what are we looking at for today's games now? This will be interesting, or the game after that, because Carberry certainly called out the team after that. However, I think Carberry's called out the team a couple times, and I haven't really seen much of a bounce back from that team.
Not to mention they're going to be coming back home from a long road trip after this game too. So even if they do want to bounce back, that's not going to be a great spot for the Caps coming up anyway.
Yeah. Wilson, the look on Wilson's face, though, that was something. He was absolutely steaming on the freaking bench.
Oh, I apologize. They're actually one more road. It's one of these damn deals where they're on the road out west and they make a pit stop in like a Midwest city. They're in Detroit tomorrow, and then they get home. Yeah.
Now that's a terrible spot. I was like, okay, but anyways, Wilson's face, though, I mean, he was just steaming, and that guy's the heart and soul of that team right now. So,
well, even he's got to kind of pick it up. Not that it's his fault. He's been so big for them, but he's cooled off a little bit lately too. That's been part of the problem, but there's more problems.
He's more mad at himself
on that team. Right now, no doubt. All right, good stuff. Let's get into the Wednesday slate, and we'll begin with the TNT game for this Wednesday night. Philadelphia, Columbus minus 115 home favorite, 6.5 the total in this game. A lot of money on the Flyers. It's probably in response to Elvis Merzlikins starting. He's not exactly a liked goaltender in the betting markets. Although that being said, he has had a couple of better starts under Rick Bonus's leadership. The question is, what are you going to get from him? Because we saw him exit, the most recent time we saw him in net for Columbus, exit the game due to an illness. And it ended up being a shorter night for him there. Jet Greaves had to take over. It was the game against Ottawa at home last week. They ended up losing 4-1. We saw, obviously, Greaves the last two starts against both Dallas and Tampa Bay. Columbus has not played since Saturday night in that wild and crazy 8-5 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll see how this one plays out. Philly is off a 4-0 shutout loss. Now, we know overall for the season, Philadelphia off a loss under Tockett's been pretty good. Now, obviously, it wasn't good for a while because they lost 6 or 7 in a row, but they beat Vegas and they lost to Utah, and then they did beat Colorado. So the last time they were off a loss against Utah in overtime, they bounced back, and it was one of their best wins of the year going to Colorado and winning that game. So we'll see how this one plays out. But, I am not going to take, I want to bet both of these teams in this spot. Philly, I like off a shutout loss because I expect them to show up. Columbus, I'm still reluctant right now, Perlo, to fade Columbus with bonus because really outside of the Ottawa loss, they played pretty well since he's been there. So I don't really love a side in this game, but we got to hit the Flyers over system play. We've talked about this all season, that when the Flyers are off a game where they've scored 1 goal or less in their previous game, the next game has gone 10-1 to the over this season. I've updated the numbers. It's 10-1 to the over in Philadelphia Flyers games. coming off a game where Philly scores 1 goal or gets shut out. And obviously that is what we have for this game with Philly off the shutout loss the other night against the New York Islanders. So 10-1 system to the over. I'm not going to argue with it. Merzlikins in net is still a downgrade from Greaves. I don't care if he is playing a little bit better under bonus. He's still a downgrade. And yes, Dan Vladar is back, and he's by far the best goalie Philly has. But is he going to be the best goalie tonight as far as top form is concerned? I'm not so sure. We've seen the repeated performance pattern of these goalies off a long absence. Ask Aiden Hill for Vegas. How did it go for him first start after being out a while? How did it go for Mackenzie Blackwood when Nashville pumped him after being out for a while? How did it go for Anthony Stolarz last week for Toronto? But guy could barely catch the fucking puck in his glove on one of those goals that Vegas scored. Kolasar's goal that made it 2-0 early in the first period. All these guys were rusty as shit. They did not play well. They did not look at their best. They did not play their best. They did not look like they had their A form off that kind of time off. So I like Vladar, and he's going to be fine, and he's still going to, I think, give Philadelphia the best chance to win as far as goaltending moving forward. But I'm not convinced we're going to get his best performance tonight, being out for a little bit of time. So I like this over 6.5. I'm going to wait for a first period over to get a little better price, but I like the pregame over 6.5 here in this Flyers Jackets game. That's the main bet for me. Perlo, what do you think here? Philadelphia, Columbus.
We actually got BetMGM added minus 125. We caught it just before it went for a 6 last night.
6? So, good.
Yeah, I got that last night. I got the over 1.5 first period for the reasons you're talking about. That's obvious, but I mean, now it's pretty juiced if you want to look at both teams to score. I don't mind both teams to score. Philadelphia is coming off a shutout. They're going to come out flying. And Columbus with Merzlikins, they shoot a lot. Now, one thing I will say about Vladar, compared to a lot of other goaltenders that maybe wait a long don't play for a long time and then play. In Calgary, he had to do that a lot. Like he when he was a backup, he sometimes would go like several days, sometimes even longer, without playing. So he was kind of like a career backup, used to doing not having to go long periods of time without playing and then playing. So I do think he's going to stop pucks today. He might struggle a little bit early, but I think Columbus will get enough on him that this gets over. But I do like Columbus. One thing Columbus does do when Merzlikins is in debt is they shoot a ton. Philadelphia is one of the better shot suppression teams in the league, so this wouldn't be a best bet or anything like that. But I do think they're going to shoot a lot here. And 23.5 for Vladar, I like it. I'm going to play the 23.5 saves. Also, I think this could be a very tight game. In fact, I like the draw in this game, like 3-3, something like that, and it goes into overtime. So if it is a tight game, that'll push it to the over too. I don't think this is going to be like 6-5 or anything like that. It's going to be a lower over as far as I think. Like I wouldn't even mind 3-3.
I'll take 3-3. In fact, I think 3-3 in the third is kind of what I think we could see here. 3-3. Yep.
Yeah. Let's go that. Yeah. Let's do it. I'll pick a side with Columbus in this one and go 3-3, 4-3 Columbus. And I'll take Fantilli to score a goal in overtime. I didn't even think about that. I just came up with it today. Fantilli to score a goal in overtime with that.
I think the draw could be 2 of the last 3 have gone past regulation between them. So, yeah, definitely, like I said, the draw could be live here in this game. I think that's worth a shot. And you're right. I mean, if we remember the original system, play team off a shutout loss, that always meant bet first period over, full game over, teams off a shutout loss. We have that for Philadelphia. To go with that 10-1 full game over record for Philadelphia when they are coming off a game where they only score a goal or less in their previous game. So something to keep in mind. As far as props, Marchment, Coyle, I definitely like both of those for Columbus here in this game tonight. Cole Sillinger scored, believe it or not, as well last game for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And that whole line might be worth a look, but especially Sillinger, Coyle, and Olivier. They've had some nice chemistry. And by the way, 2 big returnees to Columbus's lineup tonight. Miles Wood and your favorite defenseman on this team, Perlo. Zach Werenski, Denton Mateychuk is back.
Denton Mateychuk, yeah. I didn't know he was back today.
Yeah, he is.
A little bit on that.
He'll be paired with Provorov. So you got Werenski and Severson, Provorov, and Mateychuk now as the top two pairings here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. For Philadelphia, as far as props are concerned, I mentioned Bobby Brink had really been starting to go on a bit of an uptick of late for the Flyers, so that could be someone maybe you look at. I'm just looking at some of these head-to-head numbers. Yeah, Brink is definitely the one that's on the radar the most. As far as head-to-head success, Jenner has had head-to-head success against Philly. Boone Jenner for Columbus, Travis Konechny, Zegras, Tippett.
Noah Cates, JD brought it up.
Noah Cates has had a few goals against Columbus in the past as well. So
also, this would be Maddie's special. I got to shout out Maddie. I could do Maddie's special here.
The over 1.5 and over 5.5. Yeah. I mean, Matt likes doing that with some of these 6.5 totals. I could see that potentially paying off here as well. All right, Colorado, Ottawa. We've got Colorado minus 145 road favorites, 6.5 the total in this game. I mean, everything's juiced here. I mean, 6.5 over minus 130 for a very good reason. I mean, series history is very strong with over here. Colorado versus Ottawa. 8-1-1 to the over in the last 10 meetings. We saw 8-2 Colorado when these teams met 20 days ago in Denver. Like I said, 8-1-1 to the over. I think 8 of the last 9 have had at least 7 goals scored between the two teams. That's why you're seeing a 6.5 here juiced like this. I'm going to try to get cute with this and maybe wait for a live number because I do lean that way, obviously. And I am going to be on first period over pregame, obviously. The great run. We're not out till we lose 2. It finally got snapped in the game against who was it? Oh, the Vegas game. That remarkable game on Sunday between the Golden Knights and Senators. The game that ended Ottawa's 12-game over the total streak in the first period when there was 1 goal in the first period of a game that ended 7-1. How about that? First period over streak for Ottawa snapped in a game that ends 7-1 and has 8 goals in it. So pretty crazy stuff. But still, Ottawa enters this game. Actually, it's 13-1. It was 13 straight first period overs. 13-1 to the first period over in their last 14 games. We're going to ride it one more time. It's your bumper stumpers game. We're not out until we lose 2 in a row, that is. So, like I said, first period over pregame. May wait for, and probably will sprinkle on the full game, but I'm going to wait a small full game bet. Wait to see if something maybe better pops up in the opening period, especially now that we have our Patreon exclusive live Betcast here tonight. If we want better numbers and better prices on the Betcast tonight for our Patreon members, we can definitely get it. As far as the side goes here in this game, there was some rumblings. Maybe this would be the return of Linus Ullmark for Ottawa. It is not. James Reimer will get the start here for the Senators, and Mackenzie Blackwood for Colorado. Blackwood had been struggling every start returning from his injury, but had definitely a step in the right direction start against Toronto. Now, maybe that's just a sign of what Toronto's like right now, but still, Blackwood played very well in that win against the Toronto Maple Leafs on Sunday afternoon. So we'll see if he can build on that here. But yeah, this is over by Fecta, and I'm probably going to keep the full game total bet small pregame so I can add to it later here in this one. I don't know from a side perspective, right? Do I really want to step in front of Colorado? Not really. Do I trust Ottawa to get a little pep in their step following beating up on Vegas 7-1? Does it spur them on? It is, a team that lost 8-2 badly to this Colorado team. So I don't expect any shortage of motivation and focus from Ottawa, but are they good enough? That's the question here in this one. I don't hate Ottawa first goal, first period, honestly. I could see that being a sneaky look. After getting pounded 8-2 by the Avs the last time they played them, I could see that maybe being worth a shot. I might even dabble with that. First goal, first period. I don't know if I trust Ottawa to win the hockey game, but first goal, first period, maybe I'll get in. We know we've been nailing these left and right lately, these first goal, first period bets. So maybe I'll take a shot with that. Perlo, what do you think here? Avs, Sens.
Yeah, I have that first goal, first period for Ottawa. I keep coming off that, just got slaughtered last game. This is a really bad spot for Colorado. I mean, coming off of the Toronto win, the Toronto game, sandwich, you got Montreal next. And you got to remember, I don't know, like in Nova Scotia, where he's from, in Halifax, Montreal it is a Montreal town, man. And he will, I wouldn't doubt that Halifax is at that freaking game against Montreal tomorrow. Like it is not a small thing for McKinnon to play Montreal. It's huge. This is a look ahead spot like you wouldn't want to believe. I don't think. I mean, it's hard to get in front of Colorado. They're a great team, but if they're going to lose against Ottawa, this is the spot that is going to happen. I do think that they are. Here's something a little plus 135. I've got a little bit on McKinnon under shots, under 3.5. I don't think McKinnon's going to be shooting the moon in this game. I think this is going to be a conservation game for Colorado. But you can't get in front of series history. So what I do like is the draw here. I like the draw. You can get a really good price on the draw here. I could see this being fairly tight, but fairly high scoring at the same time. I do think it's going to open up early, though. I do like the over first period. So Maddie's going to love me again. I'm going with the Maddie special here. Bring that down to a 5.5 and get it over in the first period.
He's going to start getting mad at you. You're stealing his gimmick.
Yeah. I really like that bet. It's his special. So, yeah, I like the Maddie special here. And what was it? Oh, I have last night we got Malinsky. Malinsky, ever since he got his contract, he's playing up on the top line. First of all, I would take him for a goal. I think you can get a plus 1,400 or something like that. I would take him for a goal. But over 1.5
pairing, but I know what you meant. I know what you meant. You meant top pairing, but yeah, top defensive.
Top pairing.
Top line defensively, but yeah, top pairing with Makar. He is with Makar tonight. Yes. Good to note that. Yep.
He's playing with Makar, and over 1.5 shots, plus 144. I love it.
Yeah, I like
love that play.
Yeah.
So might be my favorite play there. And one more thing, Colorado, what they will do no matter what. And now Ottawa is a good shot suppression team too, but they eat shot suppression teams for breakfast, really. I'm taking Reimer over saves. I've mentioned it before. As long as he's got rest, Reimer is good enough to stop. Is actually a pretty good goaltender, and he's got rest here. I think one way or another, Colorado's going to shoot 30, something like that. So even if they do pot 5, you still got, or sorry, I guess you want pot 4, you still got over. So, and if it's going to be a tight game, like I think it is, then you're looking at possibly 35 shots. So Reimer over saves here for me as well.
There we go. Reimer saves. There's some good. I'm totally in agreement with everybody with Malinsky, Sam Malinsky for the contract bump. The contract bump has happened multiple times this year, and he just did re-sign a new deal with the Colorado Avalanche. So, like I said, and now he's with Makar as well. So it's not only the contract bump angle; it's the fact that now he's obviously, Perlo meant 2.5 shots plus 144.
Did I say 1.5?
Yeah,
2.5.
2.5.
Awesome.
Yeah, 2.5 plus 144. Yeah, as far as Malinsky props, no argument for me. I mean, it makes a lot of sense as far as what we're seeing of late with him getting the bump in the ice time. He's had an assist in 60% of games, by the way, against Ottawa, and he's had all of a sudden a few assists of late, 3 of the last 4. So, yeah, makes sense. He's getting the opportunity on the top pair. I got him listed on Power Play 2, the second Power Play unit for the Colorado Avalanche as well. So good stuff indeed. Oh my gosh, we got a connection to the Robinsons here again. These guys just know everybody in the hockey world. I'm kidding, of course, but apparently Matt says Sam Malinsky was Ryan Robinson, Matt's brother. Sam Malinsky was Ryan's captain in Bismarck. His 16 age 16 year of juniors. There you go. The North American Hockey League, which is a U.S. junior league. There you go. So a little connection there. They were teammates for a bit. Sam Malinsky and our very own Ryan Robinson. So how about that? Little tidbit there. And now he's in the NHL, and now he's getting a big fat contract. And now we're all betting him props, betting his props here tonight in this game against the Ottawa Senators. So yeah, quite the journey for Sam Malinsky. Again, Reimer and Blackwood, as I mentioned, the goalies. All right, last game, Battle of New York. New York Rangers, New York Islanders. New York Islanders minus 130, home favorite, 6.5 the total. I mean, initially I had the Islanders in mind in this game, but I understand why the price came down, because obviously David Riddick at the moment, he's had an overall pretty solid season for David Riddick standards, but not lately. We have seen a little bit of a decline here from David Riddick recent starts, and right now there is absolutely a drop off with him to Ilya Sorokin. Or Ilya Sorokin to him, I should say. Yeah, this is now. I don't want the Islanders, especially at this price. The spot to bet the Islanders was Monday. That was a brilliant spot against the Philadelphia Flyers. Now they're laying a price I'm not comfortable with, especially Riddick and net. The Rangers are in their better split. We've talked about this all year. They've been much better on the road than they've been at home. 6-17 at home, even though they did win at home against Boston on Monday night in overtime, but still 6 home wins versus 16 road wins here for the New York Rangers. So we'll see how this plays out. I hate to be repetitive with these. I just think it's an overnight. I mean, we've got Spencer Martin versus freaking, David Riddick, and David Riddick in declining form of late, versus Spencer Martin, who's given up 3 goals or more in every start that he's made for the New York Rangers since Igor Shesterkin got injured. So, I hate to be repetitive with over all the fucking time, but I mean, it's hard not to at least lean that way. I don't love it. I'll be honest though, I don't love it at 6.5. An Islander game at 6.5 feels high. It really does, but you're not going to see me even coming close to endorsing unders with these 2 goalies. Not a chance. Spencer Martin and David Riddick right now. Not to mention Pulock might not play on the blue line. So for the New York Islanders, we'll see if he's able to go here tonight in this game. So this is a perfect Betcast game because, I'm not rushing at 6.5 to the over, but certainly if it falls a little bit in game, we might be able to get involved at better prices. I know Chris Otto likes first period over, full game over here. Rangers have been a first period over team. That's true, actually. I just remembered. Rangers now 7 straight first period overs, 10-2 in their last 12 to the first. So I probably will bet that pregame. Maybe wait for a better number and price with the full game over. But yeah, 7 straight Ranger first period overs, 10-2 to the first period over for the Rangers in the last 12 games. That is significant. That is something to point out and keep in mind going into this one here tonight. So those early goals could happen a little bit. So yeah, first period over. I'll bet that pregame. Might wait for something a little bit better with the than the 6.5 that we're currently seeing with the full game total here in this one. But with nothing on the side for me, this could be a draw. The one draw that I'm for sure liking tonight is the first game we talked about with Philadelphia and Columbus. But Carson Soucy revenge game, right? He just got dealt, from the Rangers to the Islanders. And now here we go. I think he's in the lineup tonight. Yes, he is. He's paired with Adam Boquist on the third pairing for the Islanders after Schaefer, Mayfield, Pelech, and D'Angelo. So there you go. 1,200 that he scores in his Islanders debut against the Rangers. I mean, don't go crazy with this bet, obviously, but a couple bucks wouldn't hurt anybody. What do you think here, Perlo? Rangers, Islanders.
First of all, I forgot in the Jackets game, I have them first period money line and puck line. They're 8-1-1 at home, first period, last 10, and ever since. So I got that. This is a tough game. I've kind of gone back and forth on it. I do have D'Angelo over shots though. He's playing his. He shoots a ton against the Rangers. Of course, we know what happened when he was in New York. There, he pretty much got exiled off the team. Probably because, whatever happened there with Georgiev. But so every time he plays him, he usually shoots a ton. So I do have him over 2.5 shots. I have Rangers first goal, first period here too. They've been shut out twice against the Islanders. Have shut them out twice. And so I do think they're going to come out hard here. And like you said, Riddick has been kind of shaky, as of late. So, getting an early one early might not, his confidence isn't there. I could see that. So I am taking a little bit on that. Now, again, be on the show, go, get a little nap during the day so you can watch the show at night. You would get these 5 6s that we pull up. Before this hit a 6.5. So I got the over 6 on this game. I it's still not my favorite for some reason. I'm a little bit iffy on whether this is going to be over.
Because the number is 6.5, and it's the Islanders involved. That's the
I think that's it. Yeah.
Explanation. Yeah.
But over the over 1.5 first period, I don't mind. But I really like the Rangers for more on the Rangers first goal, first period. And I like, oddly enough, even though he hasn't played very well, one thing the Rangers do well, but is shoot. And I think after getting shut out twice in a row, they're going to be focusing on shooting a lot here. It's only 22.5 for Rittich to get. Even if they do pot three or something like this here, I could see them at least getting 27 to 30 shots in this game. And if I also think both of us agree that this is very drawish. So that would give us more time in overtime for him to pot it. I think 22.5 isn't bad, even if, as long as Rittich doesn't get completely lit up, and that's what you got to worry about there. But I'm going to throw some on that too.
Yeah, no. Now I got to be honest. I'm not trying to sound like the freaking grammar police, but a pet peeve of mine is when I hear people say one of the things they do well. No, it's just one of the things they do well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Just one do when you say that. Yeah. It's not one of the things they do well. It's just one of the things they do well. Yeah.
I've never heard that before. I've been saying that my whole life.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I probably knowing me.
No, it's just two do's are not necessary, but we understand what you meant. This is I am interested in the Grand Salami too, I must admit. The Grand Salami for tonight, which is basically the combined total goals for all three games on the board, is 19.5 right now. So you need 20 goals from the three games combined. Could we get there? I think there's a chance. I think it's worth a little look tonight. It's a small 3-game slate. I certainly don't love this is not Brodeur versus Hasek here, this goaltenders tonight. Goodness gracious. Merzlikins and a rusty Vladar. You've got frickin' Reimer and Blackwood. You've got frickin' Rittich and Martin. Oh my goodness. So like I said, 19.5 might be a worth a look here as far as the salami over tonight as well. As far as props for this game, we're not giving out any fucking Vezina trophies tonight. I can tell you that with this 6 goaltending combination we've got. 6 goaltender combination we have tonight in the 3 games. As far as props go for this one, JG Pageau is kind of sneaky. He scored in 3 of the last 10. I would even say D'Angelo on the blue line for the Islanders. He scored in 3 of the last 10. You get these guys at like 460 and 700, to find the back of the net tonight. So, I think there's not bad value with them. Duclair with Barzal and Drouin is probably worth a look as well. Holmstrom's back in the lineup. He was, contributing a little bit before his absence, so maybe you look in that direction as well. I think for the Rangers, if anybody, Gabe Perreault, there's value on the top line with him, so maybe you look at that. Or do you take a shot in the dark? I mean, John Massey did. It was a great call. Matthew Robertson. He bet Matthew Robertson at 10, 12 to 1 to score against the Bruins. He gets the overtime winner on Monday night. So well done, John Massey. He knows his New York Rangers. That is for sure. That was a good hit there for John on Monday night. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat at the like button. We appreciate it very much. Looking forward to this card, and obviously looking forward to our Patreon exclusive live betcast. As we mentioned earlier, we have it tonight, 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. You must be a Patreon member to join us for this live betcast. So make sure you get on board on Patreon. Again, 7:00 p.m. Eastern time tonight, Patreon exclusive live betcast. If you are a Patreon member, you can obviously contact us via the DM on the Patreon page or email me or Alex for a spot on the betcast, and we will send you the StreamYard link for the betcast before it begins. WizardSportsPicks.com. Get on board. Number 1 in the NFL, number 1 in NHL. Profitable NBA season. It's been a great profitable across all sports run for me since the site opened. Get on board. We got 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, 1 year, all sports, all access passes available as well, along with daily premium picks, Beyond the Lines video series every day as well. So check it out, wizardsportspicks.com, and of course, patreon.com/iceguys, the place to be for our Patreon exclusive live betcast tonight. Just $10 per month. And in addition, you get goalie charts, totals charts, daily betting cards, sides, totals, player props posted each and every day on the Patreon page. What are you waiting for? Our bets are there every single day. You get access to our Patreon exclusive live betcasts on nights like tonight. So make sure you get on board. Just $10 per month. Your membership goes a long way to supporting the show and keeping it going long term. So check it out and get on board. $10 per month. Patreon.com/IceGuys. And of course, make sure you check out the Ice Guys store, iceguys.myspreadshop.com. Get your gear, get your merch. Tons of great stuff available. Rockin' Ice Guys gear over at the store. Check it out at iceguys.myspreadshop.com. All right, bargain bin special of the night and best bets coming up right after we hear from our great Ice Guys sponsors.
Wizard Sports Picks, featuring the finest handicappers in the universe. Sharp insights, trusted picks, and relentless results. We strive to help you become consistent winners. This is Wizard Sports Picks.
Kings and Queens shop.
Thanks to all our sponsors, including Royal Cannabis. Check them out, royalcannabisshop.com. 20% off with promo code IceGuys. All right, bargain bin special of the night. I'm pretty sure we only had Matt Robinson's Josh Doan call as our only bargain bin special winner last night, but we did have one, and great to see that come through. We'll see if we can add to it tonight. Perla, we'll start with you. Bargain bin special of the night.
I got two, and I'm going to go with the two defensemen. I'm going to go with D'Angelo and the Island at plus 750, I think is the best you can get at. And I'm going to go with Malinsky. I'm going to take Malinsky at plus 1,200 for the Colorado Avalanche.
All right, there we go. Good stuff indeed for Perla with his two bargain bin specials. My bargain bin specials for this three-game Wednesday slate overall. Again, lots of good options here to choose from for this Wednesday. I am going to roll with J.G. Pageau for the New York Islanders. J.G. Pageau for the New York Islanders. We saw him get on the board in the last game for the Islanders against the Philadelphia Flyers. A nice short-handed goal. Plus 480 is the best price out there with Jean-Gabriel Pageau for the New York Islanders. So that is one. And I'm going to go take a shot too. Sometimes you just need to see the puck go in, and it can get you going. And this has been a good line for Columbus. And I've used Coyle already, but I'm going to use his line mate for a bargain bin special. Give me Cole Sillinger plus 650 is actually the best price out there with Cole. And I like Coyle. Coyle's going to be on my prop card too for a goal prop, but I'm going to go with Cole Sillinger here on that same line for Columbus. Cole Sillinger plus 650 to go along with Jean-Gabriel Pageau for the New York Islanders at plus 480. So there you go for my two bargain bin specials of the night for this Wednesday. All right, Perlo, best bets, I should say. What do you got?
I got to go with Reimer over 25.5 saves. And Man, I'm kind of struggling with this one. I'm going to go with the Flyers Blue Jackets over first period.
All right, there you go. Flyers Blue Jackets over first period for Perlo, along with James Reimer over saves is the second one for Perlo with his best bets for this Wednesday. All right, best bet for me for this Wednesday. There's a great price with, again, Pinnacle just coming through in the clutch once again. I'm going to do something different. Obviously, you've heard me on this show throughout say that I think we have a high-scoring night. I just think there's a real good potential that we see goals in all three games, right? Flyers, Jackets. We don't love the goaltenders really in any of these games. We don't trust the goaltenders in any of these games. So let's give a rare Grand Salami over best bet here for this Wednesday. I like it. At Pinnacle, it's over 19.5 goals for the three games combined tonight, plus 105. Real great price on that. I am going to rock with that for best bet. I figure there's going to be goals in each of the games tonight, so let's go with that. We don't talk about the Grand Salami all the time on this show, but I think if there's ever a night to utilize it, tonight could be that night. So let's go with that for best bet. We're taking the NHL Grand Salami over 19.5 goals, plus 105. Again, that's 20-plus goals tonight in the three games combined in the NHL. Grand Salami over 19.5, plus 105 for my best bet here for this Wednesday NHL card. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat. We got the Betcast tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Patreon exclusive. Make sure you join us for it. Again, looking forward to it for sure. I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining night. Again, we think there's going to be some offense tonight, so hopefully an entertaining Betcast, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight on Patreon. Make sure you join us for that. And also a reminder, check out Perlo's show, post-game again, right? You're the post-game show again tonight. Yes.
Post-game. What are you calling it? Ice Guys post-game show?
Betcast post-game show with Perlo and
Go check that out right after. Should be, 10 o'clock?
10:30, whenever the last game is over. So it'll be 10:30.
10:30, whenever it is. 15-game card for tomorrow, and we'll be going over every single game. We got, I think JD will be on. He's been coming on a regular basis. And, of course, you got Exotic Wagers, Dre, fantastic trio that we put together, me being one of them, those two. And hit like crazy and have a lot of fun. It's really enjoyable, and we've been getting a lot of following, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining and subscribing. You can catch me at Perlo's NHL POW. You can find my link to subscribe there, and so we'll see you tonight. But make sure you're going in this Betcast, my friend, because
no doubt, check it out.
Pay $10 for a Patreon, man. Jeez. That is like the best value in betting that I've ever seen. Anyways, if there's anything better out there, I don't know what it is. So put your $10 down and get into that and enjoy us and come with us tonight, because it's fun as hell. It is really fun, and making money's fun. So
no doubt. It's enjoyable, no doubt. Yeah. Irish King saying I'm definitely going to be there to fuck shit up in the late stream. I know you're Irish King's turned into our little shit disturber of the Ice Guys family with some of the comments. I've seen some of the comments he's made to other people in the chat and me and some of the other people. He's become our little shit disturber. But hey, you can say whatever the hell you want. I couldn't give two shits what you comment, or put in, as long as you're not like being personally insensitive and racist and any of that nonsense.
Oh yeah,
and you're a loyal viewer, man. You tune in every day. I always see you in the chat, so you can say whatever the hell you want, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you don't take Real Deal seriously. No, he's a gig shit.
Yeah, exactly. But great stuff. Looking forward, definitely, to the live Betcast. So definitely excited about that. Reminder, the Ice Guys is live 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, Sunday, noon Eastern. If you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more. Download the Ice Guys podcast when you can't watch the show live. For Perlo, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. We'll see you 7 p.m. Eastern tonight for the Patreon exclusive live Betcast, and we'll also see you tomorrow, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the Ice Guys.